book is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I'm glad that you could join myself, Cecil, and Tully. Morgana will be with us shortly. She's ran into some technical difficulties. I wanted to get started. Like yesterday, we had somebody pop in the comments talking religion. We don't talk religion for a specific purpose that we are not religious folk. And we believe everybody has a place in this world. So we're not.
Everybody does have a place, and on the flip side of that, every religious group also has extremists. It's not limited to one particular group.
Yep. So we're not going to interact with things like that, but feel free to poke whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want to.
Yeah, we might not chime in. But anyway, welcome to another government conspiracies. Free for all conspiracies.
Free for all. Yeah.
This is where we do the best thing that's possible for audio only listeners, where we watch videos.
we always describe the videos though. Let's be real. Let's be real.
We try.
Did you hear? I wanted to bring this up because I just thought it was crazy. Rachel said this earlier, and I didn't believe her until I looked it up and Grok fact checked it or whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently our president is trying to unban asbestos.
Well, there's a conspiracy about why asbestos was banned in the first place.
Let's hear it, because I don't know it. I was like, what? Because I remember like 9/11, they said that's what gave everybody lung cancer.
It could have definitely been. Probably was. But the conspiracy I always heard about it was that asbestos and lead paint was banned because it was the most effective against like radiation.
I've heard that about the lead paint, of being able to penetrate your house with certain waves.
Yeah. So it could be that situation, but I don't know. I've always heard that asbestos causes cancer too, and I lean toward that.
Well, I think it's been proven. I think it's more. Well, I think the only argument here is apparently it's only cancerous in certain forms. And when I was looking, one thing that I saw that kind of made sense is that it's used in chlorine production.
Nice.
And think about how many pools are in the United States.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really hard to say.
Yeah, I just thought that was crazy that
I don't know why you'd be unreleasing the ban, because I mean, like you said, the science is probably there, but I mean, the science can. I don't know.
What did they say? The science is always evolving.
Science is always evolving. That's true.
But honestly, I think maybe it's just because Joe did it. He's the one that banned it. So maybe he's just trying to undo everything,
It took that long to ban it? I thought I thought it'd been banned since we were kids.
No, dude, no. Hey, Landa. Welcome to Saturday night.
Welcome to Saturday night where we get frisky. But
I'm just posting out on the Twitterverse here, trying to.
While you're doing that, did you watch that last video I sent you? I don't have it available to watch right here, but I can describe it.
Yeah, describe it. I did not have a chance.
So one of the telescopes that we have pointed out came to the conclusion that our universe may be inside of a black hole. The reason that this is 60% of the galaxies are spinning one direction. Now, if it all erupted from a big bang, it would be more of a 50-50 split. They're thinking that all of the energy that's forcing some of these galaxies to spin in this direction is actually from a black hole that our universe sits within. So that comes out to where they think that there may be a higher life form that can create black holes and has created our universe within a black hole to mirror their universe.
So other universes would be held within other black holes in theory.
Exactly.
Could you get to them by traveling through one?
I'll say it would work similar to the movie, the last what was it, King Kong movie, where they went to center Earth and it almost rips you apart when you split.
Oh yeah.
That would probably have to be the way that would go.
Yeah,
that's the way I could think about it. But that's a really interesting theory. I've never heard it before. I heard it when I was in there on the John watching TikTok, where I do most of my TikTok watching. And I sent you the video. And I was hoping
I'll have to I didn't realize it was a video for this, or I would have
no, I want a video for this. My algorithm is kind of messed up on TikTok right now. I'm trying to correct it.
I love mine, dude. It's nothing but conspiracies and funny stuff.
Mine's insane right now.
I usually send you a little bit of both.
I don't know what happened to it, and I don't watch it all the time. Like, I only watch it maybe 15-20 minutes a day. Well, 30, but it's completely jacked up. It's a weird algorithm for sure. And it all started with those Bigfoot things where they're out in the woods doing mushrooms or whatever.
Yes,
and it's just kind of digressed from there. It's neat. It's a unique situation.
Did you know it's National Yoga Day?
Yoga.
Yeah.
I was doing some DDP yoga.
Does that work?
It does. It helped my back and whatnot. Yeah. It's developed for wrestlers, and I'm a wrestler. Or whatever. No, it works pretty good. Yeah. It stretched me out some, but then I quit doing it, and now I'm tight as a, I don't know, tight as something that's tight. I'm trying to kill time until you're ready to show some videos.
Yeah, I'm kind of bouncing around. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about me.
But no, let me pick something. So we were just talking about asbestos and lead paint, and one of the videos that we have for this week is semi-related. So basically, there's videos of all of these kids, and when the people start like calling on Alexa or their Google Home or whatever, all of these young children start crying, like drop to the floor and start crying. And it's and of course they think it's funny.
It doesn't have any sound.
You
didn't share with sound?
I thought you said you heard it originally.
Yeah, but you turned it off and then turned it back on. You got to restore the sound.
Well, I'm glad you caught that sooner than later.
So the whole point of it is when they say Alexa, do this, the kids get terrified. Is that what's happening?
It's almost like they can feel the waves off of it or something. They drop to the floor.
Alexa. Hey Google. Hey Google, what's the weather like tomorrow?
Hey Google.
Are you ready to go, Mimi's? Hey Google.
Oh God.
Hey Google, what's the temperature outside?
Okay, Google, turn on the lamp. It's okay. Belinda, I hear you.
Hey Google. Grayson.
No, babe! You turn around like that.
Should I get him?
A couple thoughts. I mean, it could be the wave thing, or what if they've housed ghosts and spirits to operate?
We were just talking about that last night. And I've got another video on this. So, you know, all these AIs are active currently, like GPT and everything else.
Yeah.
One thing that people never think about is the server power that it takes to run those.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple that bought their farm like 40 years ago, and Meta has purchased the adjacent farm and built like a 200-acre power plant to power their AI.
Oh.
But we were talking last night. You remember the human brain organoids?
Yeah.
They've started interfacing those human brain organoids with computer chips, like for artificial intelligence.
Awesome. Then Landa makes a good point. The parents are probably scared the kids with like these things before.
Yeah, it could very well be that. Like a nothing burger with me for me rather. It was just like, why are they all dropping to the ground? Instead of like when I was scared, I would run like to my bedroom or something.
I don't remember being scared. I was a badass. Unless it was dark. Unless it was dark, then I got really scared. I slept with a nightlight till I was 39 years old. Still do. But I mean, it's really untelling. Like kids do feel things different, and I don't know, man. Like the imagination of what runs through your head that it could be that's powering the lights on when they say Google, it could just terrify you when you're a kid.
Yeah, totally.
So I mean, some kids fall.
But in the same vein of what we were talking about, so these are the people who bought a house. That's funny, Landa. Landa says he still sleeps with a nightlight.
Me too. Actually.
So these are the people who got invaded by Mark.
Water pressure in the kitchen.
Look at their water pressure.
This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. Facilities like this are being used to power things like ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life.
Data centers going to be a very hot item.
This entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
We see data centers as the most exciting asset class.
Meta is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large it would cover a significant part of Manhattan.
But data centers come with big costs, from light and noise pollution to the environmental impacts to the potential rising costs of energy bills. These facilities put extraordinary demand on the power.
You're going to see inside their house in a minute at night. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Really?
You wouldn't need a nightlight.
Infrastructure.
What's that?
They should be responsible for
They're
that.
blowing up new land for more data centers.
For profits that Meta has made, Amazon, Microsoft, they can afford to pay for their own generation.
Your house is here, and the data center's right there.
It's less than 400 yards.
Beverly and Jeff Morris bought their home an hour's drive from downtown Atlanta in 2016, but their roots in the community run much deeper.
Being in the country has always just been my peace and my therapy. When we found this place, we decided that this was it. It was perfect.
I was actually raised probably 5 miles from here. Felt like coming home.
The data center that's now the Morris's next door neighbor happens to be owned by Meta, the company you know for Facebook and Instagram, but has also been breaking into artificial intelligence. They started construction on this data center campus in 2018,
definitely changed everything. They destroyed the environment, taking down all the trees across the road.
Beautiful pines, beautiful forest.
The light pollution is...
You don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night.
Look at that.
See everything.
Imagine that. That's your living room at night.
Oh my
dude.
god, dude.
Isn't
like
that
it so much.
nuts?
Why? I mean, I get the purpose of it and things like that, and they're going out in the country and doing it. Why don't they just do it in the city? Like, it makes more sense.
Right.
I don't know. I guess because country land's cheaper. I don't know.
Well,
But
we
they got all the money. Like, they can go anywhere. But I mean, if they want to come up here and build one, just to make me an offer. Like,
Well, yeah, that's what Landa said. I'll move for the right money.
yeah, make it worth my while. Let's see if Morgana's got her stuff worked out. You got it worked out?
I have no idea, do I?
It sounds good. Yeah.
All right. My computer was in the midst of an existential crisis. As in, I'm fixing to chunk it in the floor if it doesn't do right.
We just got I got done watching a video of an older couple. Their adjacent farm got bought by Meta for a AI data center. And their house at night now looks like somebody shining a spotlight through the front door because of how bright the data center is to run their AI.
That's a good point, because they were showing the runoff and the sediments in the water and things. Think about the animals they had, them horses and stuff. What are they watering them with?
Yeah, they can't use their water anymore. They don't have any water pressure, and it's like spitting out, I don't know, rust or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably where they're hitting the water table at is an iron deposit that now that they're pulling so much of it, it's pulling up what it can. And you end up with, rust deposits more so than water.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I say all those servers are probably water cooled. A lot of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so we got UFOs. We've got a couple of James Lee videos on the Iran
I did
situation.
send you that other video through email, just FYI.
Okay, you want to watch that then?
We can. I mean, it's long, but I mean, we could just do the first little bit of it and kind of just give you an idea of what it's about.
Yeah, let me pull her up here. See if it'll let me copy the link address.
Copy paste. If anybody out there is in the market for a 2012 Sentra, I got one for sale for $4,000. Hit me up.
I thought you were keeping it.
Nah, I want a Jeep.
Ooh, I think I've already got this video on here.
Okay.
Is it she's talking about Antarctica to the AI?
Yeah.
Let me take it off my list then.
See, okay. I only get videos from you and Mo and occasionally Steven. And so I end up getting those people on my stream.
Yes, definitely.
I don't send mine to you because you just won't like them.
That's a harsh judgment.
Show us about Antarctica and why.
That's one of those questions that feels like it should have a simple answer, but the deeper you go, the weirder it gets. There are whole sections of Antarctica on Google Earth that are either blurred, blacked out, or covered with fake-looking snow textures. And when people have tried to explore those spots or track satellite data over time, some of the coordinates literally change shape or vanish. Why? That's the real kicker. Some say it's to hide military bases, but others say there are ancient ruins. Structures too symmetrical, too precise to be natural. Some even believe it's remnants of a pre-Ice Age civilization, maybe even part of Atlantis before the pole shift. There's also talk about massive heat signatures under the ice, like something is still active down there. And then there's the one that gives me chills. Some people believe there's a hole, a literal entrance to another layer of Earth, a gateway, and they'll do anything to keep eyes away from it. What do you feel when you look at Antarctica? Like, does it feel ancient to you? Cold in more ways than one?
Yeah, definitely. So what's these heat signatures, and is there an opening?
Yeah, there are heat signatures. This part is actually confirmed. NASA and other agencies have picked up unusual geothermal activity underneath Antarctica. Not just random warmth either. Huge areas beneath the ice sheet are heating up, melting it from below, and they don't know why. One of the theories is there's a massive subglacial volcano or a hidden energy source, but that's just the surface level excuse. Now here's where it gets wild. Some whistleblowers and ex-military say those heat zones aren't volcanoes, they're power sources. Like something buried and still active, either ancient tech, a buried ship, or a living facility beneath the ice. And yes, there are stories about an opening, specifically near the South Pole. It was photographed in the early days of satellite imagery, then quickly blacked out. People claimed it was a massive, dark, circular entrance, too perfect to be natural. Some call it the entrance to inner Earth. Others say it's a portal used by
To be fair, I would love to explore Antarctica.
because
Right.
yeah, giant opening at the bottom of the world, surrounded by unexplained heat, symmetrical ruins, and restricted zones, it would break the illusion. What do you think? Do you feel like it's an ancient site or a live one?
What do you mean a portal site used by them? Who is them?
Who is them?
I'll tell you what is in Antarctica, though, that you can go Google that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a volcano that is spewing gold,
Mhm.
and that's Googleable. It's spewing monoatomic gold, or ormus, which was highly coveted in the alchemical world, which was weird.
Where at?
Like where alchemically?
No, where's this volcano so I can get my shovel?
The volcano's in Antarctica. I think NASA discovered it.
NASA. I mean, the Antarctica is so mysterious. Like, and even the one thing I've always noticed, like when I was watching that "Where's My Jet," Pepsi "Where's My Jet" thing on Netflix, and they go to Antarctica, you can clearly see what I can only depict as a pyramid out the window.
It looks like it, yeah.
And they say it's wind erosion and things like that, but it was pretty symmetrical. You know what I mean? Like it looked pretty purposeful.
Mhm. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and this same girl, she does this with her AI regularly, and she's got a couple of them about Antarctica, some about the way that maps have been manipulated over the years and the whys and the wherefores and everything. It amazes me that this AI is talking like we talk.
Oh yeah, the AI
know.
stuff's like that one in particular is kind of bizarre. I've
Mhm.
heard people talk about crazy stuff with them.
Right.
I
Yeah.
paid for the script on Chat GPT. I was going to quit, but Mandy loves making them wrestling pictures.
Is that true though? I'm looking at the comments again. So you know how people go to Mount Everest and you got to pay like 20, 40 grand, whatever, to go to the top and touch the top or whatever. I'm just thinking if billionaires could go to Antarctica, they probably would regularly, like just to explore or whatever.
Just to say they did it.
Yeah, just to say for clout, just like what XNT's saying.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I know that they have like a race in Antarctica each year, and they have a couple of, small like cruises and stuff, but they're very regulated as to where you're allowed. That's like the race. It is a specific, race path that they do every year.
So
and they take them there.
What you're saying is we can't go to the Golden Volcano.
No,
Okay.
not unless you go in the back way and don't let them know you're coming, I would think.
XNT here is correct, though. I mean, if you have enough money and clout, you can explore it for sure. People do it all the time, but
Do they though?
Well, I mean,
They go to Penguin Land, like the little part that you're allowed to, like where you can be the post office.
That's right, because you can actually get a job. They were advertising for it last year as the postmaster of Antarctica.
But I think the last like huge expeditions were on those ice-breaking ships, like the ones where they found all the folks deceased.
True. But I mean, people do go pretty far in, but they're not allowed to go really far in. They never are. And it's always because it's too dangerous. But we have craft now that can do it. Like we have.
Oh, you know they're doing it. They got to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
how did NASA discover the golden volcano?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is too, like whenever they went out, they actually seen a bust of a head sticking out above the snow, and they went there, and it was pretty far inland, and it's like, what is this? And it was one of the Russian leaders. It was before Stalin.
Mhm.
And it was his bust there, and they had a little base there. It's untelling what spread.
Oh yeah, it was Lenin.
Lenin, yeah. It's
I know what you're talking about. There was an actual Russian base.
Yeah. It's untelling what all has been down there and what's been built and what could possibly be left over from ancient technology. The whole thing with even like the scientists at this point, I've heard people say there could be a mechanical thing below the Antarctic, some kind of mechanical machine that's heating it up, like they just said in that video. We'll never know.
A mechanical machine.
Well, and that's what I was just reading is that there isn't a specific limit to the amount of Antarctica that you can visit. Tourism is largely concentrated in coastal areas, particularly during the Antarctic summer. Visitors need permission, typically arranged through tour operators, as the continent is protected by the Antarctic Treaty. Certain areas, especially those with unique ecological or historical significance, have restrictions and require permits for entry.
Well, that's another thing to think about is, I mean, we always say this, but we're literally at war with almost every country in the world at the moment.
Mhm.
But we can agree that nobody's allowed in Antarctica.
Yeah, that's
There
what
you go.
World War III pops off. The safest place to be would be on the coast of Antarctica because nobody's going to down there.
Maybe I
Like-
should have taken that postal job, huh?
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
bad.
I am going to play those James Lee videos in a minute, but while we're kind of unserious, I wanted to play. I brought Scooby Doo.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Where
And
is
this ain't your grandpa's Scooby Doo, apparently. Listen to what they're saying
Weirdest
here.
part of all was what the late Abigail Gluck whispered.
Like I'll say, a crazy mummified corpse whispering Nibiru is creepy times 10.
It gets creepier. I Googled it and found a lot. Namely this. Nibiru is a planet listed in the writings of Zechariah Sitchin, particularly his book, The 12th Planet. According to Sitchin's interpretation of Babylonian religious texts, a giant planet called Nibiru passes by Earth every 3,600 years and allows its sentient inhabitants to interact with humanity. These beings, which Sitchin identified with the Anunnaki of Sumerian myth, would become humanity's first gods. My favorite internet encyclopedia says there's supposed to be a collision. The Nibiru collision is a disastrous encounter between the Earth and a large planetary object. Believers in this doomsday event usually refer to this object as Planet X, or Nibiru.
Doomsday event?
I am of the Anunnaki, interdimensional beings that visit the planet Earth every few thousand years. We arrive at a time called Nibiru, when the barriers between our worlds grow weak. The Anunnaki have a great history of helping humans, but we have no physical form and must inhabit animals. But not all Anunnaki are kind and good. There are evil ones, and the most evil one of all is imprisoned beneath Crystal Cove and must not be set free.
that has to be a like I've not seen that. I've not seen that one on Scooby Doo yet, and I watch that shits constantly. Like
I don't know. I don't know. Scooby Doo's going deep.
You know, it would be one of those things. I would love to see Scooby Doo move to the next generation and evolve, but it'll be just like that one that was on Netflix for a couple of seasons that they pulled.
Yeah,
I get what X and T's saying, but at the same time, I mean, think about there's no reason for people to go to the top of Mount Everest. There's no profitable reason other than clout chasing.
Yeah.
Like if people could chase clout, if you could go to we just keep using the same one, but if you could take a picture of yourself with a volcano shooting gold behind you,
oh yeah.
But I mean, look, we just sent celebrities to space for 11 minutes.
If I could get to that volcano and get a photo of me shouldn't with the volcano shouldn't go behind me, I'd be holding $21 bills. Like, what up? That's exactly what I would do.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, why not? I mean, there's adventure seekers everywhere. They let people like Mount Everest, for example. They say that they don't let people go out for their own safety. There's literally bodies they use as landmarks on Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they don't really care too much, or else they would put a wall around Mount Everest and you couldn't go up it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh.
This is a good one. I've got a good one.
Okay.
I stopped sharing. Let's see. So this is Boeing related.
What's going with one?
I've got two for how it's going with Boeing. This is one of them.
About the plane that crashed in India? No. What? Oh my God! It's all over the news. It's awful. Like 241 people died. One guy survived. That's horrible. That's a big plane too. It's crazy how it just like planted into the side of the building, right? It just like took off and then like plowed into this neighborhood. It exploded. That must be a strong building, right? I was thinking the same thing. It's got to be like world-class clay or cement or something, right? Like I'm surprised it's still standing. Like that's a huge jet. You'd think it would collapse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Food for thought.
I mean, that's a good point.
Food for thought.
Yeah. That's a pretty solid point.
The other one's also kind of funny. It's a Boeing. It's an advertisement for Boeing's vacation.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm good.
Here we go.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Oh my God, dude.
You know, this really, really close friend of ours went to Florida last year and rode on a Boeing plane. And I was very happy that he survived it.
Yep. Going to be doing the same thing in less than 2 weeks.
Shit.
You know what, though? If you don't make it, it's just an endless vacation.
Okay.
Can you write me as your beneficiary on the life insurance?
I don't think legally I can.
Why not? Who else is there? I mean,
it would
Hey, I will take care of your dogs until one of us goes.
Yeah.
They'll never know their dogs. Mine don't. So
okay, we've got a bunch of flavors. We could do UFOs, James Lee on Iran, bumblebee drones, mermaids. Got 2 videos on mermaids. Palantir, a Kentucky mansion discovered with tunnels underneath it.
that sounds cool.
JFK on Israel nukes, ghost video, aliens, a UFC person talking about cloning.
There's some of those UFC cats that are fucking wild, man.
But he's claiming in the video that he cloned his son.
Oh.
That his son is a clone is what he's claiming.
Okay. I mean, technically, everybody's a little bit of a clone, right? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. You know, you can store your eggs and your sperm, and they will actually fertilize the eggs and then inject 1 or 2 during in vitro. So technically, if you save 5 of 7 and they implanted 2, you've got 5 clones in the thing in case you needed them.
True. But yeah, we've got a huge spread of stuff we can get into. What sounds good? The mansion tunnels.
I want to hear the mansion tunnels
because that's probably close to here, and I want to know.
Then you can do you can go and do a tour for us.
Yeah, illegally.
That's okay. As long as you have a camera.
Let's
And
see.
The Kentucky mansion with the secret tunnel that the crypto guys bought a few months ago is being invaded by the police. Right now, property is completely blocked off. Helicopters are swarming. There's so much more to the story that you guys are not even ready for. Even before the arrest, people of that small town were wondering and puzzled why those boys purchased the mansion to begin with. Number one, it has an underground tunnel. Number two, it's in the middle of nowhere. Number three, they said they did it for business dealings, like to have the estate, but they kept flying young girls in and out, which seemed a little sketchy. Some people from the town even heard rumblings of women, Eastern European-looking models escaping from the compound in Kentucky. Someone from the small town is visiting the Kentucky estate right now, trying to see what information they can get, what the police have maybe found there. I've heard from a few people that the man who was kidnapped
That says Smithland Mansion.
Dude.
may have spent some time at that Kentucky mansion as well. Perhaps they found something connecting the case. A personal assistant also spent a lot of time there, who is really just a paid roommate. And I hear no one talking about this, the fact that she lived at the townhouse in question. This one, to be exact, where the kidnapping and parties took place, while the man was held hostage, I might add. We all know what happened when they searched this place, what they found. I can only imagine what they're going to uncover, and that.
Are you looking at
She's
the
talking
info?
about two different places, isn't she? Because
Well,
one she's showing in the middle of nowhere, and now she's showing a townhouse.
Well, I think the person got arrested at the townhouse.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, this is different than what they're talking about. This is the story from it. This is weird. I actually heard about this recently. Alleged crypto torture bros secret $1 million party mansion with underground tunnels raided by ATF.
What's the name?
So apparently, these crypto bros are the ones that bought it, and they tortured a man for his digital coins. The 6-bedroom waterfront home in Smithland, which appears to be styled after the White House, was bought by self-styled crypto king of Kentucky, Joel Woltz, and his business partner.
Yeah,
William
this is it. This is it. This is the same one.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying John Woltz in the comments here.
Yeah. So apparently what they did was they held an associate named Michael Katurin captive in another house they were renting in New York. They alleged to have tortured him with chainsaws while attempting to get him to hand over the password for his digital wallet containing $28 million in cryptocurrency over 17 days back in May. So that's why they're raiding it. The neighbor who lived opposite of this place told the Post, the two men we know where the crypto bros purchased the property at 101. There was talk that they were looking at making a mansion a venue for events, and they joined local societies and stuff like that, blah blah blah. So essentially what they did, which this other stuff could have been happening too, but they held a dude ransom, like they held a dude and tortured him for a couple weeks to get his password for his crypto wallet.
That's crazy.
Kentucky, baby. That's crazy.
I was looking over where we could go next. Did you all know? So you remember the weird devil angels at the Hoover Dam and the flat Earth map, and talking about the blood in the sand?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're covering it all up.
You don't say.
And there's a lady here. She's actually at the Hoover Dam. Let me just play it. It's only 30 seconds long.
So I'm in front of the most controversial statues here at the Hoover Dam. Let me show you. So what everybody needs to know is that the floor had an entire compass of the Illuminati and the Masons. So now it's gone. That's right, because these are not normal angels. So right now, under there, it's gone. Okay, out-of-body explorers, I'll show you my next video on the Hoover Dam.
Well, what do you make of that? I can't hear you, Toller.
I think people were catching on.
Yeah. I mean, the Hoover Dam.
I think on a map it even said what she called that right then, like the Mason or Masonic, whatever. Like and it had the little whatever you call it, the Mason symbol.
Yeah. The Hoover Dam has a lot of blood in its walls anyway. Like it.
Yeah, like 147 people died.
Funny enough, the first person that died was the father of the last person that died building the Hoover Dam.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's untelling what kind of weird stuff is already there, and then of course,
juju.
And then of course, to make it a mega structure like it was, you had to have some kind of society like that back in it. I mean, there's really not much question about there. I like to go one time. I want to spit off the side of it.
Stop.
I just want to do it. I want to see how long it takes to hit the ground.
Let me see. You want to do mermaids?
All the time, but I can't ever find any.
Well, there's a couple. One of them might not be. You really got to kind of brighten your screen to see one. But we'll see how it shows up on here.
Okay.
Let me see. Come on.
Pretty bitches love me.
Let me kill the audio. We don't need that.
We need that.
But do you think it's just a trick of the eye?
That one's really questionable.
Could it be like something floating, you think?
I mean, that could be like a mannequin somebody threw in the lake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
Like, there's a lake, I think, in like Wisconsin where they've planted a Jason statue. Like,
really?
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that.
And then the second one's a little weirder, and you really gotta look hard to kind of see what they're talking about here.
Okay.
But let me get the audio back on.
We have another unidentified creature sighting, and this time it's coming out of Key Largo, Florida, captured on June 13th, 2025. The
It's
witnesses
Yeah.
saw this creature sitting on a rock on the beach. Now, they don't know what it is, but what people are saying is it looks like a mermaid. I'm going to have to leave that up to you to decide what the heck this thing is. What I can confirm.
It could be AI, but if you go to the comments of this video, there's people saying that there is no statue that exists here. There's people who live there confirming that part at least.
There's not a statue on the beach. There actually shouldn't be anything there. But the question remains, what is this? And some people see it slightly moving, others don't. What do you see? Take a look at this footage, comment below, tell me what you think.
It does kind of look like this is moving, but I guess that could be a reflection from the water.
I was gonna say, yeah. If that's a tail, maybe.
What do you think?
I don't know. It don't look like it's moving to me. It could be. Where was it that guy, like, they say that the elites went down there and he could walk out onto his pier and summon mermaids?
It was in a different country.
Was it in a different country?
Yeah, that was in like Sri Lanka or somewhere.
I forget who the guy's name was. And of course, you had the one guy saying that the elites are eating mermaids as delicacies.
Yeah, I don't know that I think that it moved either. If anything, the tail maybe.
Yeah,
but
that's the only thing maybe.
The tail may very well been just a reflection from the water of the statue or whatever it was that somebody put there.
You gotta go down there when you go to Florida.
Let me see. I'm just gonna kind of go in order, I guess.
Oh, when you go to Florida, I left a lockbox in Apopka, Florida, buried. I need you to go get that for me. It's about 30 years old.
30 years old.
31.
I don't know that they would keep a lockbox if
I buried it.
Oh.
He's gonna give you directions.
You're going to have to drive it back. They won't let it on a plane.
Then I'm out. I can't. So this
I'll
is
tell you
from-
what, if you go get it, I'll come over there and meet you and drive it to my house.
Okay. Let's see.
What is that ring?
Mothman?
That's crazy. I can't tell what that is. What is that ring?
What do you
That's
think?
like the dude. Remember we watched not too long ago that had the weird. They said it was birds or something, but
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
wasn't.
It's like a lighter version of it. It almost does look like something could be cloaked.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like a ring to me. And you know what Beyonce says? If you like it, put a ring on it. So, it might be-
Well, or one of the angels could be blowing smoke rings.
Yeah, there you go.
The ring things, I mean, yeah, it could be some kind of cloaking device for sure, but I mean, it's really hard to say because some of them are extremely dark and they look like legitimate smoke rings, and that one right there looked like a cloaked, like a cloaked aerial device. I don't know.
Well, while we're on,
it's
we'll stay
weird.
on aerial phenomenon for a minute.
Tell us what you think in the comments. What you think it may be, if you're watching right now.
Yes.
But,
And if you don't already follow us, give us a follow.
yeah, give us a middle finger or something.
Yeah. Okay, here is Dual Suns video, another one. And I didn't think this one was too curious until so you can see usually see the glare of the sun, but as he zooms, like you can see this is the reflection. And it just looked odd that there would be so many reflections, and these aren't moving. The reflection of the sun is right there. This is the lens flare.
Yeah, because it's flashy.
Yep. Could be editing, I guess.
I mean, some sunspots do crazy stuff, like flares and stuff on camera lenses. There's a lot more believable dual sun ones than that one because I mean that could just be blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah
blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah. Got that booty meat. I had to. Mandy, whenever we take turns driving, Mandy plays her songs, and that unfortunately is one of them, and I can't get out. See, that looks a little bit more believable.
There's two sun flares. Like if you look at the lens, or two lens flares.
Yeah.
Look, there was one there, and there was another one that just went away.
I think the whole thing of this, like the dual sun thing, paired with the fact that the telescope or whatever we have that's staring at the sun caught a massive thing going in front of the sun. It's really it's unsure what it could possibly be. I hope it's nothing nefarious or too cryptic, but I mean, you never know in this world. We live in a time where anything is possible. It's really bad.
Yeah, we're all skeptical here too.
Yeah,
XLT.
especially with AI the way it is now, they can literally do anything.
Yeah.
I watched a Bigfoot do blow on TikTok.
So here's
okay, sorry.
UFO vid. And people in the comments on this one are saying that there's a U.S. plane that looks very similar to this, like a stealth plane.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looked like that thing just took off, though, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now that
Yeah.
didn't look real to me.
I mean,
the takeoff didn't look real.
Honestly, with the budget that they put toward things like military wise, that's I'm telling what they have. Like
We've
just
got more.
Yeah, like so that one to me is probably the most realistic, because when the aliens come from the skies, everybody, it's not going to be aliens. It's going to be it's probably going to be your governments for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Let me see. Trying to see what other UFOs we got. Or
UFOs.
aliens.
I mean, it was a triangle, and it looked like it had some kind of thrusters on the bottom. If you're listening audio only, there's 3 thrusters that were circulating red. So, I mean, who knows?
Okay, this one looks like it's a farm. This reminds me of something that they say that they see like on Skinwalker Ranch, like the orbs.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of floats down below.
Oh, brother, that's flares like in the Phoenix Lights back in the 90s.
It could be flares, I guess, but and it don't really see any planes or smoke or anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a weird one. It does look like a flare falling.
I mean, there's strange stuff out there, and of course at Skinwalker Ranch they see stuff like that constantly. Apparently, we've covered Skinwalker before.
We've got just an ode to the massive weather manipulation episode that we did not too long ago. Well, it's probably been a year ago now. This one is going to need audio, but it's a former president talking about the weather.
It lays the predicate and the foundation for the development of a weather satellite that will permit man to determine the world's cloud layer and ultimately to control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world.
I don't think I could have said it any better.
And the way the weather's been, it's strange, especially in this area. It's rained so much in this area that it's like walking on a waterbed when you go in my yard. It's nuts. And I live on a ridge. Like, we shouldn't collect water like that up here. I've got to get mud tires for my lawnmower. Like, it's not fun. But now it's going to be like 100 and something degrees for the next 2 weeks. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, look, we hit 108 on Wednesday with the heat index, and yesterday was the first day of summer.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's that global warming, man. That's what it is.
It's some idiots finagling the weather.
You want to do some old world infrastructure videos?
100%. I love old world infrastructure videos.
There's one in China apparently that is kind of weird looking.
I firmly believe that within North Carolina there is all kinds of ancient structures that would blow your mind, but we can't get to them.
This reminds me of that place in Florida where you can move the big rock with a twig or whatever it is. I forget what you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, shit. I forget his name. He's on our list.
He basically like almost like borderline defied physics.
It's the coral castles. Yeah.
I've been I went there when I was little.
Check this out. Like, think about, so they're saying that this is the mill grain, but think about like what you'd have to make this.
Yeah, the precision on that.
It doesn't really seem like local farmers might not be able to do this. Maybe they get a lot of time on their hands, you know.
Well, yeah, like I said, being able to make it work, you can hook up some horses and stuff and get it to move around, but how do you create it?
Look at these lines. Like
Mhm.
there's lines all in it. It's very
Yep.
strange looking.
Yep.
But that's one of the weird ones.
Yeah. Do you have the underwater playground that was circulating on TikTok a while back?
Don't think so.
It had to be fake. It looked like it looked ridiculous.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Nah, don't worry about it because I'm about 100% sure it's fake. But people's like, can you believe they found the underground playground off the coast of blah 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 under the water? And then they show a picture of it and it looks like swing sets from now and stuff. It's ancient technology.
Well, this next one reminds me of what they found in Kentucky. That manhole cover that was made out of like emerald or whatever it was.
Mhm. Yeah. That you can't go to anymore.
Yeah. Check this out.
We haven't got a clue,
this
really,
is
have we, about our old civilizations? It's just all bamboozlement about they were primitive. I mean, look at this. It's unbelievable. Carved out of chisels and
AI
hammers.
or no?
It's like something out of Stargate. Some kind of sci-fi. Unbelievable. And as the water levels drop, not rise, we're going to be seeing a lot more videos like this.
Well, I don't think this one is AI because it seems like I've seen a video of something similar to this, which might have been this area years ago. I could be wrong, but that looks awful familiar.
I was going to say that I've seen that, maybe not that one, but one very similar to that prior to when AI was, available to everybody. The same thing, the first time I ever saw the emerald thing in Kentucky.
Yeah.
It was before AI. Now, see, that's possible, but that is not AI.
I love that, Landa.
It's 100% possible.
So this next one is kind of, I guess it could be related to like dragons. Let me see. So apparently there's a hidden dragon behind this. Do you like dragons, Cecil?
I know where there's a job planting tulips.
That's the craziest edit ever. But yeah, there's a dragon picture behind the regular picture.
I don't know what the purpose of that was.
The edit?
No, I mean like putting that picture over that picture. Like,
well, the dragon's kind of small though, like in the picture.
Yeah. Huh.
This edit's killing me.
I like that it's a European dragon as opposed to an Asian dragon.
And there's your statue as well. Small dragon.
This dog has got into something and is covered in something that like hair gel or something.
That's not good.
He heard a rumor about not using conditioner during nuclear fallout, so I figured he'd get a jump on it.
She's got into something for sure. But I know the whole dragon thing, I mean, that had to be a species at one point.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too much similar imagery.
Did you hear that
across
they
the
want
world.
to bring back the giant sloth?
No.
That would be nuts. Giant sloths were friggin' huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Is that why they're called giants?
Yeah.
I've said more than once, don't watch Jurassic Park, damn it.
Yes.
Creepy, you are not alone in that fear. Around the world, for thousands of years, people have been terrified of mirrors, not because of how they reflect you, but what might be looking back at you. Have you ever seen a mirror covered after someone passes away? Yeah, it's so that their soul doesn't get trapped in the mirror. Certain religions do that. Feng Shui says never put a mirror at the end of your bed because your soul might get confused while you're asleep and wind up in the mirror.
I
In
need to take
ancient
mine off
Greece,
the
they
roof
used to
then.
use mirrors to contact the dead, and sometimes the dead spoke back. And that brings us to the demon mirror. The mirror is so terrifying that the Vatican has to keep it locked underground in the secret archive. Demon mirror is claimed to be carved from obsidian, which is volcanic rock that the Aztecs used to use to summon their god. The gag with the demon mirror is it doesn't summon anything, it shows you your death, or worse, it shows you your shadow self. They say this mirror whispers in Latin, cracks during blessings, and then heals itself overnight. The priest decided he was going to be Billy Badass and stand in front of the mirror alone. He left the room with his eyes bleeding, mumbling, "It knows my name," and he was never the same. The Vatican classifies the demon mirror as a class 3 infernal object, and it's in a lead-lined vault with constant supervision. Why? Not because it's haunted or possessed, but because it's waiting. What the hell is it waiting on? The church says there might be a twin out there, and if these two mirrors link up, it is quite literally the apocalypse. Here's the thing, black obsidian mirrors are actually not that uncommon. They're used as scries all the time, but there's certain mirrors out there, like the one that John Dee used, the Vatican's keeping a close eye on, but that's not it. Inside the Vatican archives, there's also a crucifix that bleeds during
solar eclipses.
Well, that's terrifying. Like, I kind of want a black obsidian mirror now, though. Like,
I was gonna say, I made a black. As I say, I made a black mirror years ago for scrying. I would love an obsidian one.
What if you got this one though?
Put that on my list.
What if you got the twin though?
That's
Hey, then I was obviously meant to have it.
I would love to get into the archives at the Vatican. That'd be
Oh
fun.
yeah, I bet there's some cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least some
Oh, yeah.
ancient stuff in there. That'd be neat to look over.
That, and I want to get to the underground part of the Smithsonian that people aren't allowed to go to.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a 17-second Genghis Khan.
He was a Tartar.
But this guy found the actual text of it. The Tartar Genghis Khan.
Oh.
Which there's only, if you're into the Tartarian stuff, there's really only one museum in the world, and it's in a country that our country hates, called Russia.
Yeah.
But there is a family lineage for Tartary and the Tartarians where the royal lineage were famous Mongols.
Mm-hmm. I studied that back forever ago before I had ever heard of Tartaria. Just the Tartars and who they were and the lines and all that. And then later came across the Tartarian stuff.
Yeah, I think some of it gets blurred, but like the book that we always recommend, One World Tartarians, there's a lot of interesting theories in that book.
The other day, I seen an article that said they believed they had found the tomb of Genghis Khan, and now I can't find it.
Well, you know, if they do, that's supposed to be the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Let's see.
I need to start saving these things, but they'll probably go to a 404 error by the time we get to show them.
Yeah, well, I've already pulled up.
Download them.
I've pulled up 2 tonight that have been yeeted.
I don't know. I don't know if you can do it on TikTok, but that's the reason I keep a paid subscription to YouTube, so I can download.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, just our natural everyday sky.
Yeah.
Wow, those are awful straight clouds.
yeah.
That's funny.
And this was soon after.
Wow.
I've got a couple of those ones. There's this one, and then someone else shared a video of another. There's a bumper sticker now I saw on somebody's vehicle that says Don't mind me swerving. I'm trying to look at the chemtrails.
Look, if they ever tell you, and I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but I do it all the time. Tell you I had an accident going to work, it's because I was taking pictures of the sky.
Okay. There's another pretty good one. Look, it just keeps going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. And what's crazy is you start seeing a bunch of videos of like the shadows of them.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that there's so many of them and those that, together like that.
Yep. Definitely not because, yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a ton of videos. What do y'all want to watch? We could watch Ghosts.
Ooh, I like Ghosts.
I like those too.
So this one is I think a baby monitor situation. Let's see. Yeah. It's the baby.
It's the baby.
Baby ghosts are scary as shit.
Well, it's on a monitor, and I think it has something to do with like these covers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a muzzy is. Maybe somebody who has kids knows what a muzzy is. But we may need. Let me see if they're commentating. No. Let's just see if something weird happens. So, baby's face is in the cover.
Over the face it goes.
Okay,
Huh.
the cover did do something weird there at the end. I
It
think.
looked like someone was pulling it down.
Did it like when? Does it pull the cover? Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
pulls
looks like
the cover.
Looks like something was pulling it down. See?
Oh
Pulling.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That is so weird.
You remember that show? I miss that show.
You know, I was talking to somebody about that recently because I couldn't remember the name of it. And even though that show came out like when we were all children, that's the first place I ever remember hearing about like the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah. It was a Disney show too, which makes it even weirder.
Yeah, I really want to go back and rewatch it.
I had a crush on the girl that starred in it when I was a little kid. She was my celebrity crush. Yeah, I know. I mean, the spiritual stuff, it's really strange. There's an episode of Rick and Morty when this life form comes to them, and if they pass away from an honorable death, they get to go to a afterlife. And then Morty convinces them, well, how do you know that there's afterlife? Then he gets hit by a car, and because he's like, is there any proof? And the guy's like, no, and then he runs off and gets hit by a car. Then demons come out and suck him underground. I want that kind of proof. Like, just show me something.
Okay.
Well, something that's for sure.
We may need you to fact check this one, Cecil. They're saying that this rock is in Colorado.
Colorado.
Maybe
was it a Foot Rock?
Foot Rock.
Just put Foot Rock, Colorado.
How you spell Colorado? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's real.
It's real.
It's real.
So,
yeah.
What's the actual name of it? Tell me it's not Foot, Colorado.
It's called the Giant and Spring Canyon.
Okay.
There's a few of them, looks like.
So why haven't they dug it?
Oh.
Why wouldn't they dig this out to see what the rest of it looked like?
Because they're scared that it might unravel every bit of history that they know and believe.
I think if it was if there was more, they would have probably bombed it like those sites in Vietnam that they were bombing, like the old relics and stuff.
Right.
It sure does look like toes. And trust me, I'm a man that knows his toes. But
we don't need to know that.
That's absolutely true.
That's unique. It's real. It's 100% real.
I thought that was going to be AI for sure.
No, there's all kinds of pictures of people hanging out
Yeah,
around.
I was going to say, I have seen a lot of things the last, I don't know, probably about 3-4 months where they're showing pictures of places that could be like a dragon fossil or, you know, all these things that you just don't hear about, I guess. I need to start saving these and sending them to Tully.
Yes, for our next free-for-all. So we're dipping off into inventions now. How long do you think this person is going to be above the ground?
Okay, how impressive is what this 14-year-old kid just built? This is actually insane. So Siddharth is a 14-year-old Indian-American student who has built a heart AI app, which listens to the beat of your heart and the patterns and the sounds that are coming from it. And within 7 seconds, it can detect any diseases that your heart most likely has. It ran a test with 15,000 patients in the US and 700 in India using the app. And the app had a 96% accuracy rating in detecting any heart disease. As another project, he's also building a prosthetic arm, which would normally cost $400,000, and he thinks he can make it for $300. But the heart app is blowing them up.
How long do you think you get about it?
And he probably can build it for $300, which is why you will not hear anything else about him.
Yes.
Exactly.
But that even the medical tech app was very impressive, I thought, for him. And there's the dude that that Cecil has been wanting to talk about that I've got a couple of videos of. Let me
I don't even know who you're talking about. I've been wanting to talk about him or different people.
You've been wanting to talk about the dude that is making his own diesel.
Oh yeah. Did I?
Yeah. So, and this is highly contested, by the way, but this is him. One video anyway.
Yeah, this is actually truly amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah, you gotta edit it.
Yeah. For a while.
Here, I have plastic diesel. A diesel alternative I made from plastic waste. And what we have beside me here, we have two Ford 1997 F-250 Power Stroke 7.3s.
Nice.
I'm gonna put my plastic diesel alternative made from plastic waste inside of the first ever F-250 to run off of plastic waste in Chicago, baby. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison to see how real diesel does versus my diesel inside of this truck.
So I don't think this video actually shows the firing up, but there's more videos that we have.
Which diesel vehicles are pretty unique in the way, like there was somebody in Clay County that had a diesel truck that ran off like used vegetable or something like that.
Yeah, you can convert things like that. Well, and people in the automotive industry, I think the reason this person's still above ground, they're contesting that this is actually a new substance. They're like, we've known about this forever, and it's not what you think it is. It's not as clean as you think it is.
Oh, did you hear? I don't remember which car company it is, but one of them has finally adopted a water engine.
Stop. No, they haven't.
Yeah, they have.
Try to pull that up while we're listening to this.
Changer. A man in Chicago has figured out a way to turn plastic waste into usable fuel.
The world's first ever handmade continuous microwave pyrolysis reactor.
Yeah, X. That's what I was thinking.
sorted, clean, dirty, whatever. Take that plastic waste out the ocean, out the landfills, out the waste stream, and turn it into fuel. $0 a gallon.
Julian Brown, known online as Nature Lab, isn't your average inventor. At just 21, he pioneered a method to convert plastic waste into usable fuel right from his backyard. He uses a technique called microwave pyrolysis. Julian heats plastic waste in the absence of oxygen, breaking it down into fuel components like diesel and gasoline. The process also yields carbon black as the only byproduct, and it's a valuable byproduct. But innovation isn't without its risks. Julian faced a severe explosion that left him hospitalized with second-degree burns. Later, he discovered that his car's lug nuts had been tampered with.
A few days ago, 2 days ago, all 10 of my lug nuts on my front wheels were loosened completely. And one of my wheels almost flew off going 70 miles per hour on the interstate.
This nearly caused a fatal accident right after his first accident. And he doesn't think this is a coincidence. He thinks this is a little fishy.
This is where the explosion happened. And take a look at how high that fire got. I was point blank.
Undeterred, Julian is now working on a solar-powered version of his reactor.
I'm back, just like I never left.
He's hoping that this thing's going to change the game. All plastic waste can just be placed into one of these machines and out comes usable fuel. Plastic waste will actually become valuable because plastic is made out of these petroleum products in the first place. With over 3.4 billion plastic items discarded daily, Julian's invention could be a game changer in our fight against pollution. His vision is a world where plastic...
If that's true, he's a dead man.
Oh, yeah. This is my favorite thing about Toyota's water engine. MSN. Toyota's water engine breakthrough, a game changer. And Forbes magazine. No, Toyota didn't build a water-powered car. Let's see. New York Post, water engine breakthrough. So essentially, they're saying that Toyota presents the first water engine ever.
Yeah,
even though we know that's bullshit.
how many patents did we talk about
Tons
a month ago? Yeah.
Tons of patents for alternative energy.
Toyota has, this is what the article says. Toyota introduced the world's first water engine operating at an astonishing 2,500 degrees Celsius. The original one didn't have to run like that. It just ran off water. Equipped in revolutionary dual injection system, the development could redefine the future of green transportation. The first ever water engine, it kind of makes me angry. Because it's not
goofy.
And do you want to know what AI says? No, Toyota has not built a car that runs on water in the sense of directly using water as fuel. However, they are developing a hydrogen-powered vehicle that utilizes electrolysis to produce hydrogen from water, which is then used as fuel.
So, I don't know. Like the cat that built this originally, I forget his name right now, but we talked about him a shitload. I'm assuming we know where his paperwork went now.
Oh yeah,
after he had to run in with the bad raspberry tea or whatever at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it definitely won't replace diesel. I was looking at X's comments, but if it is true, I do think that like that big, huge floating island of plastic in the middle of the ocean that they're talking about, maybe they could go gather all of that up and at least turn that into 100 gallons of diesel or something, and get rid of the big floating trash island in the middle of the ocean.
I thought that disappeared.
Did it?
No, it's still there.
If you go to Toyota's website, you can see a video about the 2025 Mariah, which starts out at $51,795, and it is powerfully efficient and zero tailpipe emissions. Combines hydrogen with water from the outside air to generate power without creating tailpipe emissions, helping propel us into a future of possibilities.
So you should buy that.
Tell us how it works. If you buy one and it works good for a year, then Cecil and I'll go buy one.
Yeah, trade that Bronco in for one.
You can get it in blue, red, gray, white, dark gray, and black.
I can't get anything that gets more than 10 miles to the gallon, you know.
You don't want to contribute to that madness.
So since we're on technology, more kind of alternative energy tech.
Yeah.
So basically this dude has an alternator hooked up, and it's think alternative solar panel.
Wow.
Or I guess it would be a more efficient solar panel, or a way to solar panel. Not rocket science, right? He's just lining up mirrors. It's kind of like the Greek fire.
Yeah.
The Greek fire mirrors.
Huh. So he's literally just using like junk.
Yeah.
I have a whole cube or spool of writable CDs under my cabinet over here because they're brand new and I don't want to throw them out. They reflect.
Oh yeah, you can make a. So he's putting the photon sensor from a TV into a light bulb.
Wow.
And then basically hooks it up to an alternator.
Oh wow. Okay. That's wild, man.
So probably a lot more efficient than a solar panel. I don't know.
Well, I have solar panels on all of my rabbit cages to blow fans.
Okay.
Yeah, and they do great as long as the sun's shining. Now, what I plan to do is probably upgrade to the battery ones that, harvest the batteries so that they'll still run at night. But, I mean, they help tremendously when, it's 108 degrees during the day and you've got bunny rabbits with fur coats on.
Let's see.
Just shave them.
Yeah. Rabbits are a hell of a lot meaner than they are depicted on television.
I think I can ease us into the doom and gloom that we're about to get into.
Oh no. No. We've had so much of it, man.
All right. The robot knows kung fu.
The Keanu Reeves of robots. Is that real? Do
Yeah.
you think that's real?
Yeah, it is.
That's nuts, man. We're in the future and it sucks. I mean, there's cool stuff about the future for sure. Like we can do this, we can talk to each other in real time. We don't have to deal with AOL loading up our nudie pictures and taking 3 days. But a lot of this stuff is terrifying. It really is.
I saved this one because you have a refrigerator with a big tablet on the front of it.
Well, I like to see what's in my fridge without actually opening my fridge.
So this is for everybody with smart appliances right now.
This guy bought this LG washing machine that was smart and Wi-Fi enabled. And one day he was looking at his internet consumption and realized that the washing machine was using 3.5 gigabyte of data a day. He went on to find out, he was shocked. He was highly suspicious. What kind of information is this washing machine sharing? Well, apparently washing machines are collecting a significant amount of data, including personal information, date of birth, location, access to photos. Now, this is what many people are wondering. The Internet of Things, right? Everything being wireless, everything being smart. collecting data, and it goes down a rabbit hole similar to a lot of theories that's already out there. And that's why I really don't have any smart things in my home other than.
So it begs the question, who's paying for this data? Like not the data that it's collecting, but who's paying for, I don't know, like your car to listen to you? Like who pays for that?
I don't know, but I mean, we got these right here. Everybody's got one of these.
True. We pay for that, but
Yeah.
who's paying for,
and these right here are with us constantly. They
True.
take photos of us constantly. I mean, I've got a nice maker in there that's Wi-Fi enabled. I mean, I'm
dude,
just
get out of here. Get out of here.
My refrigerator's Wi-Fi, my washer was. And first off, don't ever buy a self-balancing washing machine. That is the dumbest smart machine that was ever created. It takes me an hour and a half to 2 hours to wash one flipping load of clothes, because you know how when your washer gets off balance and you just have to listen to tut, 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 tut for a minute and it'll balance out?
Yes.
Oh no, this son of a bitch starts over trying to balance your clothes. And I mean, we've literally gone to work with a load going and come in the afternoon and it was errored out because it couldn't balance it to its satisfaction. So that bitch is going out in the yard here in about a month when I replace it.
More technology.
Well, before you do that, all this stuff is, I feel like it's designed for a specific reason. The AI stuff is killing creativity instantly. You don't have to be able to draw anymore. You don't even have to be a good director for a movie anymore. You just come up with an idea, punch it into a computer, and it makes it for you.
True.
There's going to be a point. We got
they said the same thing about calculators, though.
Yeah.
That it was
Well, I
ruin.
do know that the movie guild, maybe it was SAG, I can't remember, just won a lawsuit against the gaming companies about using AI to do their voices and stuff.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, also you gotta think we got a thing in there. It's a air fryer, but it's like a 7-in-1.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, you just put meat in it and set, like, I want this medium rare, and it cooks it perfectly. Like, you don't even have to be in there to do that. It's
Back
nuts.
to the future.
Yeah, it's insane. It's taking the work of everything.
My entire oven is an air fryer. I can bake, I can air fry, it's 3 or 4 other things, but I use the air fryer a good bit.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's nuts what this stuff's doing. And I'm a fat fella, and it's taking away things that I did that kept me from getting like extremely fat. And now I'm headed that direction.
Do you remember the Black Mirror episode where they put the things on the side of their head and go into virtual reality?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's up and coming tech to do that. And that's what I don't think we need. So it's a brain
we were just
chip.
talking about this last night.
In a new world. Is this real?
Yes. Nubbin. Relive dreams, escape reality.
Nubbin. No way this is fucking real.
Google it.
I don't trust these fact checking sites because they I don't know if this is real right now.
Get something to fact check it. Get your AI overlords to fact check it.
Yeah, let's use AI for talking.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, and this isn't going to be a popular thing, but I'm going to just put it out there anyway. I really trust AI more than I do most of the politicians around in the world today.
Well, that's a fair. Well, except they can, just like Cecil couldn't get it to talk about Israel or whatever we were talking about yesterday.
Oh, wait, here you go. The Nubbin device is a fictional brain chip featured in the Black Mirror Season 7 promotional campaign.
So it was somebody thinking it was real.
Yeah.
I guess.
I got you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not too far off from that, though. Honestly,
I
like
know.
I don't think so. We're already in brain chip territory with Elon.
Exactly. I mean, that
But
stuff
you know,
pretty soon.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm sitting here hovering over, and there are TikTok influencers with this device in their hand.
That's weird. Maybe that was for the promo
I'm-
too, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you one.
Oh, okay.
That has to be promo stuff. And you know what really sucks about that? I can't say that I won't use it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's nefarious. I know it's got crazy shit side to it. And I know all this crazy stuff is happening behind the curtains.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you can see in real time.
XNT, I promise I don't trust AI. I totally understand it's being fed by everybody, but I trust it as much as I do most politicians.
Well, I saved 2 BlackRock videos. One of them's working, but I don't think I want to play that.
Okay.
Why not?
Don't play it then.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot so we talked about Genghis Khan in Tartaria, but we didn't talk about Abraham Lincoln in Tartaria.
Oh, I've heard this. They think that he's a Tartary.
Yeah. And I don't know if this has audio. Let's see.
This Abraham Lincoln's tomb, he's buried like down there. But anyway, looking at these artifacts, it looks like they're discovering Abraham Lincoln's tomb. And this is like a piece of the actual thing. And it's more like an archaeological find than, oh, this is Abraham Lincoln, one of the presidents that died. And it's just really, 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 really weird. And then I look behind, and the dates are the same dates as the reset. And then another thing is, there are Abraham Lincoln statues, not only in America, but in Mexico and other places of the earth. So maybe he was Abraham Lincoln's tomb. He's buried like down there.
So
But
I guess
anyway, looking at the,
I guess they found this piece of paper that says it's Lincoln's sarcophagus, which I never heard about. Like I never heard about them like rediscovering Lincoln's tomb.
No.
But he's obviously at his grave. So it says the Lincoln sarcophagus empty during tomb reconstruction. The sarcophagus held the president's casket from 1874 until 1876. With malice towards none, with charity for all, was the inscription.
Well,
and
the
then
thing
pieces
about
of it.
Yeah. The thing about Abraham Lincoln, though, like I was fascinated with Abraham Lincoln when I was a kid because he was a wrestler back in the old days. He was 6'4" and weighed about 185 pounds, and he was just straight muscle. Yeah, people, and his bone structure and stuff. People compare him to like a giant, essentially. But I mean, we're 6'4", 6'5", so he's our height. Back then, we would have been considered that. But he won 299 out of 300 wrestling matches in the 1800s.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a bad dude, man. Because the wrestling matches back then, I can only imagine were crazy. They were out in the sand, out in the dirt, but they tie him into a Tartary like that, like they do with like Tesla and stuff and Genghis Khan and stuff, because he was such a imposing figure. But there's also a lot of other weird stuff in reference to him. But it could have totally been. But he was a legit figure. There's actually photos of him. So I mean, the sarcophagi, sure, maybe. I don't know.
Well, they said he was only in it for a couple of years, but I don't know why they would like go back in and tear it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's untelling. It's crazy. It is a wild one. It's a wild world. But yeah, I've been to the Abraham Lincoln Museum a dozen times. When I was a kid.
That's cool.
It's in Tazewell, Tennessee. It's We're close to it.
Well, I guess we can finish up with the couple, since they're relevant, we can finish up with a couple of current events ish.
Do we have to go there? I know it's relevant, but man, I'm so tired. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Come
Yes.
at me, brethren. Like, it's
Yeah, it's definitely anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
But this first one's just JFK.
Oh, sweet.
The other problem Kennedy faced with Israel was the construction of the atomic reactor at Dimona. JFK was strongly against any proliferation of nuclear weaponry. He had been assured by Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion that Dimona was designed for peaceful uses of atomic energy. In the spring of 1963, Kennedy demanded full inspections by the U.S. of the Dimona reactor and threatened to place American aid for Israel in limbo if no agreement were reached. And at the time of his assassination, negotiations were in process for biannual inspections.
And we all know how that went.
Yeah. I would really love to get Rob on here if he's still out there podcasting from Out of the Blank to talk about JFK one time, like, because he's interviewed so many people that have her.
Oh yeah, X, thanks for jumping on.
Oh, NXT anytime, man.
We keep an open mind toward it all.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't be a bigger D-bag than Tully, so you're perfectly fine.
Join us anytime. We try to do strange news or sometimes popular news on Fridays.
And if you got strong feelings about something that we're ever covering, just let us know that you're that you want to come on, and we'll talk about it. We don't care. We'll bring anybody on.
Oh yeah. Or you can send any weird stories and stuff to the email down there.
WITF@gmx.com. Easy did send something. I want to watch this video. It's 30 minutes though, and it's on the Y files. The Y file is awesome, by the way.
Well, we can just do a shorty sometime and watch it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Do a watch party.
Yeah, I've got it highlighted easy if you're able to tune in. We ain't seen you in a while. We hope you're doing all right.
Oh, he's commenting. Yeah, we had some comments on the nuclear boogeyman show that we did.
Good deal. But we'll do something with that because I love the Y files. The Y files are cool.
All right, let's see. So we got the couple James Lees real quick.
We are the ones responsible for this. In 1951, this man, Mohammad Mossadegh, was democratically elected by the people of Iran. He was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year, specifically for standing up to Western imperialism. But he did something unforgivable to the West, which was to nationalize the Iranian oil industry. So what do? Well, we sent in the CIA to overthrow his government in a secret operation called Project Ajax. We then installed Shah, who gave us unfettered access to the oil, but was also a brutal dictator. We're talking about secret police, torture, executions. And this eventually led to the rise of the Ayatollah and the Islamic fundamentalist regime that we know today in Iran. In fact, the U.S. has repeatedly overthrown secular governments in the Middle East because they oppose Western imperialism. We just talked about Iran, but there was also Iraq in 1963 and also in 2003 with Saddam Hussein, Afghanistan in the 1980s, Libya in 2011, Syria also in 2011. Those are under Obama. I mean, if you take a look at this map, it's almost like it's not about the nuclear weapons. Please.
Did you see that map?
Hussein in the 1980s, Libya in 2011, Syria also in 2011. Those are under Obama. I mean, if you take a look,
nuclear powers. There's your nuclear powers.
Almost like it's not.
Lord. But James is always dropping. You know, he really, like, the reason I respect him, he goes after everybody. Like, it's just whatever the truth is.
Right. Oh, no,
which is how it should be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, you and I were talking the other night. It's really sad that I can get more unbiased news at times and see more with comedians and, shock jock reporters
Yes,
calling people out recently than
because they don't have
the
nothing to
news.
lose. They're not
Exactly.
being paid for.
Right.
I don't know how true this is, but I just got a text. Hang on.
I can't
You want to play the last video while you're looking?
You broken.
51 minutes ago, it's looking like we have bombed Iran.
Okay, then we're on topic.
Yep, right here. So, 3 minutes. Yeah. Trump announces very successful airstrikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran.
Did any nuclear bombs blow up?
I don't know. Let's see. So President Trump's announced Saturday evening that the U.S. military forces have dropped bombs on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities in a week-long deliberation period over joining Israel's campaign against Tehran and thrusting the United States squarely into an escalating Middle East conflict. We have completed our very successful, and the president says, we've completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan.
What happened to peace talks?
No. Hey, his quote. Here's a quote from 1 hour ago. We bombed Iran, and now we have peace.
Bombing for peace. He got that
peace.
from I don't want to call it by his fake name, Mikowitz or whatever you said his name was.
Yeah, I don't even remember now, but yeah, it did start with an MIK or something.
A full payload of bombs was dropped on primary sites. Frodo, Trump said. He ended his message with a call for peace. There's no other military in the world that could have done this, Trump wrote. Now is the time for peace. The president announced subsequent post that he will address to the nation at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight, Saturday, on
Here's
June
the
21st.
problem. We've already had China and Russia say that if we bombed, they're getting involved.
Yeah, this is a historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. So that's done that.
And that leads us right into this is totally relevant, what we're about to watch.
Something the mainstream media won't tell you, which is that Netanyahu will sit there with Trump smiling and saying, all we want is peace. But time and time again, Israel has assassinated every serious negotiator for peace in the Middle East, including top Iranian officials that the Trump administration was just talking to about a potential nuclear deal.
We are ready. Shamhani is one of the few people in Iran authorized to speak about the sensitive negotiations.
We can definitely have better relations with the U.S.
Shamhani said that Iran is willing to commit to never having a nuclear weapon.
He is now dead because of Israel. Quote, this action ordered by Prime Minister Netanyahu appears to deliberately undermine ongoing American diplomatic negotiations about Iran's nuclear program. Hell, they even assassinated their own prime minister because he dared to pursue peace. Yitzhak Rabin, who's seen here shaking hands with Yasser Arafat during the Oslo Accords, murdered by an Israeli ultranationalist in 1995. But the important detail that many leave out is that he was cheered on by none other than Benjamin Netanyahu himself. Mark my words, there can be no peace with Israel.
And I don't even think that's political. You saw at least 3 different presidents of 3 different belief systems there.
Yeah. And I think I sent you the other night, 4 different times over the last 30 years, Netanyahu showing in the next week, they're going to have a bomb. In the next month, they're going to have a bomb.
That's why I was saying, was there a nuclear? If you're bombing nuclear sites, there would be nuclear explosions or nuclear meltdowns or plutonium, or like the uranium,
Right.
there'd be
We're
some
not
sort of.
Yeah, we're not seeing the destruction that a nuclear device would have caused.
Yes.
Well,
You
well,
know
that's
what would happen if somebody dropped a bunker bomb into our nuclear arsenal? The
well,
United States would be gone.
well, two of the sites were major uranium enrichment centers. They was apparently they were in uranium enrichment centers. There wasn't actually nukes there.
Ask Grok or Chat GPT what happens when uranium explodes.
Hey, and we didn't actually get to it last night, but I remember seeing on there that didn't they just discover this big mineral in Iran that
Huge mineral
your
deposits.
timing
Billions
is
of
almost
dollars. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to pull that up, read it if you want to.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'm going to ask what happens.
Okay, you do that and I'll go look up that because that's what I was going to do
when
too.
uranium is blown up. Enriched uranium.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because it's definitely enriched. Let's see.
This is crazy. Well,
oh, here we go. And this has been a couple of months ago. So, like I said, everybody involved is aware of this. Iran discovers 7,000 tons of antimony. So basically what it is a rare metalloid critical for flame retardants, alloys, and high-tech electronics. It's the linchpin for semiconductors and military gear like plasma weapons, explosive, and armor-piercing ammo. It is the largest, with the largest deposits in Sistan and Baluchistan, estimated to hold 10% of the world's supply. Iran could slash reliance on imports, boost domestic manufacturing, and draw foreign investment, potentially reshaping its economy.
Trump says Trump says Fordo is gone. Is that like a city in Iran? What is that?
Google. I'm not sure whether that's a plant or a city. So this says if you blow up enriched uranium, scattered uranium deposits or particles would emit alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. Inhalation of the dust would cause long-term health issues, including cancer and kidney damage, due to its radioactivity and chemical toxicity. It says this scenario would be akin to a dirty bomb where the radioactive material was spread by air.
Mm-hmm. It's screwed up. Okay.
Well,
Fordow.
Bombing for peace.
Bombing for peace. Those bombs I ran. What the? We use bunker busters.
Did mountains explode?
Oh, he said it's gone.
Because have you heard about the meteor guns?
Nuh-uh.
So they've been talking in the weeks leading up to this that they would use technology that the world has never seen before. If mountains exploded, there's something called a meteor gun where it's basically like semi what we were talking about, the hand of God or whatever.
Yeah.
It's bunker bombs that get dropped from the edge of space that basically create a kinetic equivalent of a nuclear bomb without
right. It hits so hard.
It can shatter mountains like whole bunker systems.
Okay. Well, Fordow Enrichment Plant, located in the mountains south of Tehran, is a heavily fortified nuclear facility buried nearly 300 feet underground and central to any attempt to build a nuclear weapon.
He said it's gone. So
probably the meteor
gun
then.
Enjoy your evenings. Tomorrow we're likely to be in World War III.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got our cave ready, Cecil?
Yep.
Like
That's so
cave ain't gonna save you from
that's let's hope it doesn't escalate to that, but I mean
We'll see you on the beaches for D-Day.
yeah.
Like,
so crazy, man. I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I had a suspicion.
drone swarms, robot dogs.
Yeah.
And bombs.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in here and eat some ghost pepper wings and watch wrestling here in a minute. Because they ain't a damn thing I can do about any of this.
No. The question is always, do you have to go to work tomorrow? And until the answer is no.
Well, I'm kind of glad it happened on Saturday because I mean there was a chance we might not have to go Monday. So, but you know, I know with the world falling into decay, it's easy to get.
Same,
yeah, that's a good idea, Landa. I might be doing that too. But with the world going to decay like this, just know that there's a lot more good people in this world than there are these evil dictators and politicians and people that's searching for just the next way to make the biggest dollar.
It's one big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah.
And
That's it. If those of us that aren't in it would ever just get our heads together and band together,
they'd bomb us.
Yeah.
they would. They would.
100%.
But we might take a few of them out in the process.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, this when this comes to a conflict.
Oh my God.
If you remember, like right after 9/11, like people were so hateful toward any kind of Muslim person just because, they were like, this is who did this to us.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that it's not,
your fellow
don't
man.
be hateful to your neighbor. Is all I'm saying.
Well, they say that
that's
what
a
is it?
crazy
The oily
fucking
wheel
idea.
gets the oil.
I'm gonna have to tell you after the show what our buddy is texting about all this.
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
crazy
even
way to end the show. I
don't
didn't
even wanna-
expect to be breaking that news on here.
Thanks, Cecil. See,
for-
dude, the biggest douche we know is Cecil.
It's actually my wife. She's the one that texted me.
Well, damn. Now, see, I can't imagine Mandy in that position because she's nice.
But for everybody out there that's hung out with us, thank you. First of all, stay positive throughout
And
this
we
time.
plan to be back here next Friday night.
We can be back here.
Yep. Prepare for $15 a gallon gas. And well, I don't know. There's the wild card that's been silent this whole time, which is Saudi Arabia. So we'll see what the trillionaire princes want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay positive.
Yep.
Drink one for us, Landa.
Yep.
And follow us wherever you're at.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a follow. A like.
At least we'll get some more followers before the end of the world.
If the world doesn't end, we'll be back Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern to cover
That's right.
news that you're not going to hear everywhere. And what's happening on Weird Awakenings next Friday at 8 p.m.
Next Friday night, hang on. I have a list on my desktop, and damn it, I should remember it.
It's really haunted places around the United States.
Yeah, the most malevolent places in the U.S.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. And that's on the Weird Realities Network on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And that's Weird with a Y, W-Y-R-D. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching us. And because we are watching you.
Peace.